Really? You say it's waving. Maybe it's just placing it down. When it says that he will place it, it already says that he places it. What do I do with the word v'inachtay that he will place it? Zutenufa, it's coming to tell me that he waves it.
Why does it just spell it
so
out?
we have a question. That's a good question. Why doesn't it say? It would say what it wants, right?
It makes it more confusing.
You bring over here from Rashi and Sukkah. What do you have over there? You have a Rashi and Sukkah? Does it tell you anything, Eily?
Eily.
In Makkas, they bring Rashi and Sukkah and Rashi and Makkas. Rashi and Makkas says that Bihinachtei means Tenufa. It says V'loi Nacham Elikim, Hashem did not lead them. In Tenufa is like leading it in different directions. So the word, you know that? The word, the root of the word of Hanacha has also the word of leading or of moving it. So Hanacha could also mean to move it. That's strange. Placing it and moving it is in the same.
What's the sherish for moving it?
V'lei Nacham Elikim. Hashem did not lead them. Right? Derech Eretz Plishtim. Okay.
That's great.
That's Rashi and Makkas. Okay. Rashi and Sukkah says that V'hinachtei actually means that he puts it down. But why is he putting it down twice? Must be that he had to take it in middle. What was he taking it for? He must taking it to wave it. You follow? It means putting it down, but if he has to put it... Okay. So now we're left with a question. Because Rabbi Yehuda says the same thing, that the Bikurim need to be waved, and Rabbi Ben Yaakov says Bikurim need to be waved. So the Mishnah says that these things require to be waved and not brought close to the Mizbeach. One of them is Bikurim according to Rabbi Ben Yaakov. So the Gemara asks, why don't you say Bikurim according to Rabbi Yehuda? So Amar Rabba Hayol Pasuk B'Yakasav Tchila. Because Rabbi Ben Yaakov's pasuk was earlier in the Torah than the pasuk that Rabbi Yehuda uses. The pasuk Rabbi Yehuda uses is Devarim 26:10. The pasuk that Rabbi Ben Yaakov uses is Devarim 26:4. He gets it. He quotes an earlier pasuk. That's Rava's answer. Rabbi Menachem Bar Yitzchak Amar Hayol v'Rav Gufrei. The reason why we quote Rabbi Ben Yaakov is because Rabbi Ben Yaakov was so strong, so great. It means strong in halacha. Because the Gemara in Erevin tells us that Mishnah's Rabbi Ben Yaakov is kavanaki. He said very few things, but whatever he says is correct. It's interesting when the temple was destroyed, so they didn't have the Caesar sent the sacrifice, and this fellow Kamsa puts a mum in it, right? So they said, should we bring it? So comes along Rabbi Zachariah ben Kulas, and he says, if we're going to offer it, they're going to say that you can offer sacrifices. If we're going to kill the guy, that he doesn't go back, we're going to say someone that brings the sacrifice gets killed, remember?
Yeah.
So he said we have to not offer the sacrifice. And so the Gemara says, because of Anvis Sanusei Shel Rabbi Zachariah ben Kulas, so the Bais English was, because of his humility, the Bais English was destroyed. So they asked, what do you mean his humility? What was the humility there? They said, no. His humility is, I heard this from Rabbi Lipska.
Humility that he
we don't see humility in what he does.
Right.
He just said like some logical. He said his humility because Rabbi Zachariah ben Kulas never said anything in the whole Shas. So that's his humility. One time when he speaks out, he says, you have to listen now. He hardly ever says anything. To listen now. So that's the humility.
And then the Bais Hamikdash gets destroyed.
So it's another way of darshaning the humility.
Yeah. Okay, so Rabbi Ben Yaakov kavanaki. It's kav. It's a small measurement, but it's pure. Whatever he says is accurate. So that's why we're quoting Rabbi Ben Yaakov. I'd like to mention that we have two. That according to some sources, there are two Rabbi Ben Yaakovs. But Rabbi Aaron Hyman, who does this, told us to name Amiram. He works out all the biographies and all of that. He claims that what the Gemara means, Mishnasi Kavanaki, is referring to both of them, so, which is cute. Okay, it's not simple. Okay. The limbs of an individual shlamim and the chaz of a sheikh, whether it's a man's shlamim or whether it's a woman's shlamim, needs to be waived, but not by others, and not with others. Maika Amar, what does it mean? Amar Rabbi Yehuda says, Hachi Kamar. This is what it means. It's very common, by the way, for Rabbi Yehuda to be second generation Amar, for him to come in and explain Hachi Kamar. That Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Hachi Kamar is very common. This is what it's saying. Echad Anashim Vechad Nashim Karban Ton Tenufa. Whether it's a man or a woman's sacrifice, it requires Tenufa. Utenufa Atzma B'Yisrael. The Tenufa is done by a man, of a loy b'dei nashim, but it's not done by a woman. Okay. Rashi says, because it says Daber el b'nei Yisrael, so speak to the Jewish people, and it says, the Gemara is going to say this after, so let's wait for that. Tana Rabbanan. The rabbis start in a brisa. Bnei Yisrael menifin, ve'ina oiv dekavan menifin. The Bnei Yisrael do the tenufa, but the non-Jews don't do tenufa. Bnei Yisrael menifin, ve'in hanashim menifais. The Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel, v'loi b'nai Yisrael, and not the daughters of Israel. Okay. Rabbi Yosi. Rabbi Yosi says, Matzino shechalak hakasav bein karban Yisrael lekarban Eved Kechavim lekarban Nashim. Let me just see if this is supposed to be read. V'karban Nashim. V'smicha. Regarding smicha. Let me see how this works. That requires. This means that a karban of a man, a Jewish man, requires smicha, but the carbon of women and non-Jews does not require smicha. Yachal nechalek b'tenufa. Maybe we should divide it as well regarding tenufa, regarding waving. That would mean that only a man's sacrifice requires waving, but a woman's and a non-Jew's does not require. It says loy. Mali chalek b'smicha. The term mali is it doesn't mean what. It doesn't mean what. It's more.
Why? Why
So
are they?
why just because?
Why just because? It means like, why should we? Like, Mali chalek b'smicha. Just because by smicha, smicha b'bailim. That smicha is done by the owners. The chalek b'tenufa. We should make the same distinction by tenufa. Tenufa b'bailim. That the tenufa is with the owners.
Kohanim.
And I'm sorry, tenufa b'kayanim. That the tenufa is with kayanim. And we can have the waving done by the kayanim, and so we don't need to make the same distinction. We can say that the women and the non-Jew sacrifice could be done by the kayanim. So imkein matam alemer b'nei Yisrael. So why does it say that b'nei Yisrael, that their sacrifice requires tenufa? If you're just saying now that the sacrifice of a woman and the non-Jew also requires tenufa, so it says what it means is b'nei Yisrael menifin ve'ina b'kavim menifin, b'nei Yisrael menifin ve'ina nashim menifais. It means that they actually don't do the tenufa, but the kayanim do the tenufa. So their sacrifice requires tenufa, but the kayanim don't do it. Now there's a difference here between Rashi and Tosfos.
You mean so Zar, anybody could do it?
No, the kayan does the tenufa.
So,
But the sacrifice requires tenufa. there's a difference between Rashi and Tosfos. And I didn't go through the whole thing, but the difference is, one of them says that the Tosfos holds that women's sacrifice requires tenufa by a kohen, but a non-Jew sacrifice does not require tenufa at all. Okay, which is different
Does
than
he
our,
argue
which is
with,
different than our text.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a different text. Tanya Idach, there's another brisa. Bnei Yisrael, it says that to the Jewish people, speak to the Jewish people. Eily Bnei Yisrael, I only know the Jewish people. Geirim v'avadim mishurchanim minayin. How do I know converts and freed slaves, which are converts? How do we know that they're even though they're not descendants of Yisrael? How do we know that their sacrifice requires tenufa? Talmud Laimar Hamakriv. It says the one that brings. Ayene El is Kayan Hamakriv. Maybe it means the Kayan that brings. Kishwaimer Yadav to Vienna. When it says his hands will bring it, so that's referring to the owners. Hari Bailam Amar. It's referring to the owners. So Haketzad. So how is this done? Kayan Miniach Yadav Tachas Yidei Bailam Amina. The Kayan puts his hands under the owners' hands, and they wave it.
Didn't you say that though?
Yeah, we said that before. Before we were referring to how do we know that by the Bikurim it was done like that, and we learned it from. This was what Rabbi Yehuda was saying, that we learned it. I'm sorry, this was Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov. How Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov knows that Bikurim has tenufa, because he was learning it from Yad, and we compared them how it's waved. Now we have a brisa that's explaining, is it the owner or is it the kayan that's doing it in the verse itself, and he's saying that they actually do it together, how to fit that pasuk together. And with this he includes also, even if it's not a Bnei Yisrael, even if it's a convert or a redeemed slave, that would also be require waving. Okay, let's leave it over here, exactly on the page.
So Gerim have this. I didn't know Gerim have this. They have a different.